David Benavidez beats David Morell by unanimous decision. I'm Paulie Malignaggi. This is Paulie TV. So the anticipated light heavyweight showdown with Benavidez and Morell goes to David Benavidez, who went into the fight as the favorite. Relatively competitive fight. Quick start by Morell. I love the energy in this fight. This is why I like to see guys take each other, go at it in head-to-head battles. While they're in their 20s, while they're in their prime, they're still hungry. They've made money, but they haven't secured a legacy yet. They're fighting for legacy, and battles like this, they know secure legacy. So it's the kind of fight where you get the best of the best talent and the best of the best determination and hunger in both guys, and the entertainment value tends to live up to it. If you make fighters fight, the best fighters fight at this age, I think you get so much more bang for your buck. Boxing has a tendency to not do that. We've been doing that more and more with some fights at least at a world class level, with the fights in the Middle East with Turkey Al-Sheikh. I know at Pro Box TV, at the mid-range level, mid-contender level, we've been trying to do that a lot where I work at Pro Box TV. And for all the customers that have been watching Pro Box TV fights, you guys know, actually tune in next Saturday night on February 8th. We have a great show there in San Antonio, Texas, on Pro Box TV with your typical 50-50 type of fights. This was maybe a 55-45, 60-40 fight. Yesterday, going in the day before the fight, Benavidez was not even a minus 200 favorite. I think all the late money came in on Benavidez. He was probably a minus 250 favorite going into this fight with Morell, and he lived up to it. He won the fight. I didn't think it was controversial. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was good action. The Morell started well, but I think Benavidez's pressure is consistent, and it will break a lot of fighters down. Also, Benavidez has a lot of deception to the way he attacks with speed once he's at close range. I think if there's any flaws in Benavidez's game, it's the way he closes the gap. He kind of just walks straight in, squared up. It helps him in terms of pressure because he's able to cut off more corners because he's squared up, but it also makes him a little bit more of a target. Where, of course, he blocks very well. He doesn't move his head much. He blocks very well, and he holds position well, so he can keep firing at you, keep that pressure on you. But I'm wondering, and I don't know what everybody else thinks at home, but I'm wondering if at light heavyweight with the crafty Bivol or the very strong Beterbiev, if this one-dimensional closing of the gap is going to work. I think Benavidez is anything but one-dimensional once he's at close range because he has very creative combinations. He even knows how to get around your defense if you try to cover up in various ways, either by moving your gloves out of the way or punching around you and then up the middle with speed as well. He even changes speeds very well. But he does all this at close range. That middle to long range, he kind of just closes the gap very nonchalantly, with emphasis, but nonchalantly. And what I mean by nonchalantly is no head movement. It's just squared up, same look all the time. Doesn't change it. Just look up at it or level up or down. So I'm wondering if against the Russian fighters like Bivol and Bivol, who has a great range changing style and he fires often off of it. And Beterbiev, who's very strong, and you probably don't want to just walk straight in on a guy that strong. I wonder how Benavidez's style will be effective, or if it can be effective. I'm also wondering, what you guys think at home about that. I'm starting to question it. Tonight, I still saw a very good fighter. I saw two very good fighters. I saw two very intense fighters. I saw hungry fighters. I saw skilled fighters. I saw Benavidez, who was clearly superior to Morell, but Morell fought well. But I'm wondering, stylistically, I wonder if Morell would have matched up better against like a Bivol, because they're both a little bit. They both have those boxing dimensions, those range changing dimensions, even the adjusting dimensions. Benavidez, I'm not saying he can't adjust, but his adjustment tends to just be press. And like I said, when he gets close, if you can't get him to stop getting close, then he's really deceptive and really effective because it's speed, it's deceptive punch selection, and it's also punch creativity around your guard as well. Really wicked uppercuts too. That he showed some good damage there. I think both guys probably have a pretty good future. Even Morell. I don't know if there's a market for Morell. He doesn't have a lot of pro fights yet, so I don't know if he's been able to gain the popularity that his skills sort of merit. But I think Morell is also a very good fighter, and whether he stays at light heavyweight or he goes back towards super middleweight, I think he can be very, very effective as well. But that's my question about Benavidez. Who knows? But if Bivol beats Beterbiev, then they're going to do a third fight, and Benavidez is going to have to sit on the sidelines again and wait for this title fight. Maybe he could fight maybe a Josh Buatsi type or one of the other British light heavyweights who have also sort of been cementing their name. Not sure, man. Light heavyweight's an interesting weight class, and Benavidez is an interesting fighter. And I think there are some flaws in his style, but I'm wondering do they come to the surface at light heavyweight against these elite Russians or not? Tonight I started having some question marks, and that's not to say he's definitely susceptible, just because I see that. But it made me ask myself questions, and I'd like to know what everybody else thinks about that, or if they see that that could also be a problem. That the things I see that could be a problem for him against Beterbiev and Bivol, if you agree or if you think he'll be able to close that gap. Keep in mind he is younger than them, especially Beterbiev is getting older. That Benavidez's youth energy can also overcome a lot of deficiencies as well. Like I said, if he is able to get close, even against those kind of guys, if he's able to get close, those uppercuts and those body shots, and again, that speed selection, that speed and change of speed is really, really effective. So, again, I'm curious, and I probably will remain curious about this for a little while until we see that next fight. I wonder where Morell goes from here. I think he's effective either way, either weight class. Let me know what you think of that. I thought Pitbull Cruz is basically like Arturo Gatti light. I don't think he's as good a boxer as Arturo, because Arturo used to be able to box, and I think Arturo was a better body puncher as well. But Pitbull still goes to the body. He still has a tight little style where he presses you and he's hit and get hit. Good win over Fierro tonight. Even Fierro will be a guy that I would probably like to see again. I think I could see Fierro even on Pro Box TV. He's kind of that level of fighter on the channel that who would blend in well at the channel that I work at Pro Box TV. But I also think that Pitbull, as exciting as he is, I'm not quite sure he's shown any improvements from the things that I need to see. Obviously, Fierro wasn't the kind of opponent that was going to show us that he still had a deficiency against moving guys. But I still think you got to keep Pitbull away from moving guys if you're going to get the best of him, and if you're also going to get the most entertainment value out of him. But when guys are in front of him, he's a sturdy guy, and he forces you to move. But when you start moving, even Gervonta Davis, as strong a puncher as he is, Gervonta Davis started moving on him because he is stubborn, is Pitbull. And once Gervonta started boxing and moving on him, he was dazzling Pitbull. So there's definitely a kryptonite there with Pitbull's style. I think he can be effective. I think he can be fun to watch, but you got to match him a little bit carefully if you want to keep him at a level where he can remain exciting and remain on the TV screens for fans. I thought Stephen Fulton did a great job tonight. Really surprised me. Some subpar performance after he lost to Inoue that had a lot of people thinking, was he the same, or maybe did Inoue, psychologically ruin him? I was wondering if Fulton's confidence was lacking after the performance he had against Inoue, and then the subpar performance win he had after that. But tonight he really, really brought the dog out of him, that Philadelphia junkyard dog out of him, and I like that he came with that mentality. He had I still can't figure out if he's wearing real Timberlands or boxing shoes, by the way. And the jorts, the jorts boxing shorts. He just wanted to have a grunge feel to him, and he fought that way. He boxed smart as far as high guard and everything else, but he also wasn't scared of fighting the trenches. He didn't run, and he was he fought a physical fight against a physical fighter, and he did it better than him. So I thought it was a good job by Fulton. And I wonder now if Inoue comes up to featherweight and looks for a world title at featherweight, now you got Fulton as a featherweight champion, So does he chase him again? Does Fulton want that fight again? Is it a better weight class for Fulton at 126 than it was at 122? I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on that as well. But overall, solid pay-per-view on PBC on Amazon. And until the next one, I'll see you later. Poli Malignaggi for Pro Box TV next week. Don't forget to watch us on February 8th. It's a really good card. I really suggest that you guys download the app. It's free. And for now, I'm out. This is Poli TV.